Namaste and hello everyone. Over 5 visas and 8 years in the UK, I have learned a thing or two. My name is Shivika and I am here to help you navigate life in the UK. First and foremost, I hope you're all doing good and thank you so much for all the love that you have showered on my first YouTube video after ages, because as I mentioned in my first video that I've been away from YouTube for a really long time, and coming back and getting that kind of response on my reel that led to the YouTube video, which was skilled worker visa and all the updates that have come recently in the UK. Thank you so much for all the love, because it means a lot and it really motivates me to then shoot another video and then research about another set of content and topics and help you out in your navigation in the UK. If you do not hear me clearly, or if you feel anything that's not as a normal, then I have a very bad throat, and I was supposed to actually shoot this video on a Sunday, but I wasn't able to because like not happening. And then I tried doing it yesterday, it didn't happen, and then today I was like, I have to no matter what. And I then kept having lots of hot water, and here we are. So without further ado, let's get to the topic, because we like to talk about the topic, which is the most important bit that you are here for, unless we get to the point where we talk about daily life and the works. So today's topic for the video is: who is a new entrant in the skilled worker visa, and do you qualify for it? As you must be aware that there is a new category in the skilled worker visa, which is the tier 2 visa for workers in the UK. The new entrant category has certain criteria as to who qualify for it. If you do qualify for it, what is the timeline? What are you paid? We will be answering all these questions, and I know there's been a lot of confusion regarding this, but let's get to it and let's solve each problem, each question, one at a time. So just a disclaimer that for this particular video, I'll be looking a lot over here. That's where my laptop is placed, and I've got some very important details that I do not want to get wrong, and that I want you to know in a specific, because it's important. So let's go for it. Who is a new entrant? I don't have to look into the laptop for that. A new entrant is clearly what the term says: somebody new into the UK labor market who has not worked in the UK before. Okay, yeah, sorry. Somebody new into the labor market who's not worked in the UK before, or has not started their professional journey, their professional careers, and that's what a new entrant is. Now, on the UK Gov website, it's clearly mentioned what a new entrant does not qualify as, or who a new entrant does not qualify as. So there are two conditions to that. Number one, somebody who is entering the UK for the first time. So if you are somebody who's entering the UK for the first time, it does not mean that you qualify you qualify as the new entrant. And the second one being that if you're applying for your skilled worker visa for the first time ever, even in that situation, you do not qualify as a new entrant in the skilled worker visa category. Reason being, there is a very crucial point that the UK Gov website has mentioned, which is the 4-year limit, on which I will explain furthermore in later in the video. So you will have to wait for it and watch the 6 criteria that really make you qualify as the new entrant in the UK. The first criteria that I'd like to discuss today is that you are under the age of 26 on the date of your application. Now let me put something over here, that is that you need to qualify any one of these 6 criteria that I will be just mentioning. And the first one being that on the date of your application, so say for instance, if you're applying today, that is 7th May, you should be under the age of 26 and not over or 26, because there's no way that they mention that you should be 26. No, you should be under the age of 26, which is the first criteria mentioned if you would like to qualify as the new entrant. Now the second one being that the applicant is sponsored for postdoctoral position on their certificate of sponsorship from their employer, but for any of the following occupations. Now these are the only occupations that you must qualify for, otherwise they do not fall under a new entrant. Number 1, chemical scientist, biological scientist, biochemist and biomedical scientist, physical scientist, social and humanities scientist, natural and social science professionals not elsewhere classified, other researchers, unspecified discipline, and then higher education teaching professionals, or it can be confirmed by checking the occupation code or the job description on the course letter. So there's only very specific occupations that fall under the new entrant. Some of these are the ones that I have just mentioned right now, and some of them can be verified based on your course and based on your job code or your occupation code. Like for example, the occupation code for chemical scientists is a 2111. There are certain codes that can qualify, but majorly it's all of them that I've just mentioned to you. The third criteria that the UK government has considered for a new entrant is that the applicant is working towards a recognized professional qualification in UK regulated profession. Now they've given a link to the CPQ website in order to confirm whether you are working towards a UK regulated profession, and if that's you, I've linked that link in the caption below. You can go through it and see if you are somebody who's working towards that kind of qualification that falls under this category. Well, just needed another dose of my cough syrup, but number 4, applicant is working towards full registration or chartered status with the relevant professional body for the job that they are sponsored for. Now, a chartered professional, as I read, is somebody who has gained a level of competency and skill in a particular field, and you're only awarded a chartered status if it has been awarded by any professional body or a chartered body, which also I have mentioned in the caption below if this is something, or if this is the kind of professional qualification that you have, and you may then fall under the new entrant category. Number 5, this must be so important for most of you because I know a lot of people in my community are recent students, current students, and recent young professionals. So number 5 clearly says that you are a new entrant if you are a recent graduate or you have completed your education in the last 2 years. I know this sounds exciting and I know you all feel that you all fall under this, but the only ones that qualify are UK bachelor's degree, master's degree, UK PhD or other doctoral qualification, postgraduate certificate in education, and a professional graduate diploma of education. So these are the only ones that qualify. If you successfully complete your degrees and you have completed your degree within the last 2 years. So for example, if you completed your degree in 2022, you still qualify as a new entrant. If you completed your studies in October 2022, then you still qualify as a new entrant until October 2024. But the twist to this whole new entrant category is the 4-year limit. So if you've completed your education, I'll go back to the same example that I've been referring to. If you've completed your education in 2022, that is, you are a recent graduate of October 2022, then you have 2 more years of your post-study work visa or the graduate route. Now you've been on the graduate route for 2 years, that is until say October 2024, then you are only left with 2 more years of your new entrant category, because you can only be a new entrant for 4 years. So if you've studied and soon after your study you decide to work for someone, you do qualify as a new entrant in the skill visa category. And if somebody is wanting to sponsor you, then of course they can sponsor you in a lesser salary than what the usual salary for a skilled worker visa is, depending on your occupation. Now, number 6, your most recent permission has been the graduate route, which is the post-study work visa, or it expired only in the last 2 years. So you do qualify as a new entrant when you've just finished your graduate route and you do have 2 more years because of all the reasons that I've mentioned previously. So you do qualify as a new entrant on your PSW, but only for 2 years. So keep that in mind before you apply to any employer, and make sure you have further reservations in terms of what are you going to do after those 2 years. Well, I hope you've understood who a new entrant is, and by now you're able to assess whether you are a new entrant or not. Now we move on to a very important part, that is salaries. I know a lot of you have been confused majorly because of the new update about the 38,700 salary threshold, which has shaken everybody. But for a new entrant, the salary is different. When it comes to salaries on a new entrant category, you can be paid 70% of your job standard going rate. In order to explain the numbers and what 70% means for a new entrant and what is actually the standard going rate for your job role before the 4th of April and after the 4th of April has been linked in the caption below. You can have a look in those links where it's mentioned what 70% salary will you be getting as the skilled worker in the new entrant category and what a person on the skilled worker visa will be getting. Another point that I'd like to make here is that until you are a new entrant, you are eligible for that 70% of your standard going rate. But the minute those 4 years or those 2 years limited time that you have is over, you need to switch to the original salary, which is the actual standard going rate for your particular job role. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are here till the end, I really appreciate you taking the time out to understand something deeper and better. Please do subscribe to the channel if you found this video useful, and don't forget to also go onto my Instagram for daily updates and for real quick content that can help you quickly grasp things about what's happening in the UK or things that may be useful to you on a day-to-day basis in the UK. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and do post in recommendations if there's something you're looking for or if there's a topic that you need better understanding about. Have a very good day and see you again in the next video.